Frankie Robson, Dwayne Patterson, Andy Tate lining up for Kelso, Tweedy, Melbourne as well, and Roberts on the wing, Gray, Mitchell, Ford. We've got Brunton, Linton, Lowry. We've also got Callum Rennick for HAWICK. So lining up that as the two teams. They'll be interchanging throughout proceedings, but play is now underway. Kelso attacking from inside their own half, and it's Dwayne Patterson from his own 22, manages to go on the inside of Lowry, scampering over the 10 metre line. He's got Kirk Ford to beat. He puts the boot to ball, and Kirk Ford gets the luck of the ball ricocheting off his legs, and he snaffles that ball on the ground. Now Jay Linton going forward, that low, powerful bounce off of the opposite man. He's able to evade the first challenge, but from the breakdown, Callum Rennick gathers Dwayne Patterson, torpedoes himself at the calves of Callum Rennick as Lowry looks to try and clear the breakdown. But the referee has signalled that there's going to be a penalty to HAWICK early on. So it's going to be Gary Lowry who's going to take the penalty. Tapped it, passes to Jay Linton. Jay Linton passes to Kirk Ford. All the HAWICK players taking the ball, standing still at the moment, just waiting to inject some energy. There's numbers up on the stand side if Ford was to use them. Mitchell finds a little pocket of space and he just breaks through the challenge there to Cammy Brown. The covering challenge coming across in the shape of Angus Roberts for Kelso, but Andrew Mitchell is going to get the opening score of the final. He dives in the corner, and it's first blood to HAWICK here, and from a standing start, Sam, it looked as easy as you like for Andrew Mitchell there.
He did. He made that look ridiculous, isn't it? Gary Lowry, he kind of nonchalantly sort of took that tap off, didn't he, after they got the penalty from that breakdown. And as we said, first blood really. Kelso probably wanted to get that first try, so now it'll be interesting. The team that's been defensive solidly is up against the team that's probably been the most creative in attack so far, so we'll see now how these really two come head to head when they have to, let's say, amplify their strong points for the rest of this final.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle on the side of the scrum here. David Chang-Ling keeping a watchful eye on this as the nudge comes on again. It's out the tunnel quickly there as Ford now finds Mitchell in centre field, who's dancing and creeping his way towards that Kelso line, and eventually he's hauled down to ground, but the referee is saying that off their feet. Kelso there have given away another penalty. Gary Lowry looking for some teammates to pass to, and Gray was in there. The sliding challenge came in as well, nothing of it. Andy Tate done well to just get his foot in the road. Patterson again has got back for a Kelso cause, finds Frankie Robson, and he throws the dummy. Then he's caught and shackled in defence in his own 22, and the referee is going to bring that back again. A knock on there. Brunton puts into the scrum inside the Kelso 22 again. It's hoisted out and into the hands of Kirk Ford. He looks left, then he looks right, then left again, then goes towards the right hand side where Callum Rennick is there, and pirouetting out of contact finds Owen Gray, and then Mitchell looks to find half an opportunity there, bounces off Brown for the second time in this game, but this time it's not going to result in a try because Melbourne was there. Lowry has got the ball. He's been ragdolled there by big Keith Melbourne. He's able to just lift Gary Lowry off the ground. An advantage coming there for HAWICK again for an offside. That time Tweedy. Ford puts boot to ball, tries to stab it forward. Frankie Robson's going to have to do well to get back. Just a little bit of a weak attempt there from Frankie Robson. And Gray gets the bouncing ball and dots it down in the corner. And Neil, I've got to ask your opinion on that there. Frankie Robson, usually an assured character, was perhaps just caught a little bit cold there and not shown his physical attributes.
He's maybe just tired. It's been a long day, and he was found in the middle of the park there. We had a lot of time to pass the ball, and he didn't, and he lost the ball there. And I would have fancied him to get back, touch that down, but the young lad Gray there, he's Owen Gray, he's got a bit of pace, and he just poached that one there. So good try for HAWICK. I think that's about 4. We've certainly not got much rub of the green, Kelso, but you sometimes just got to hang in there until you do, you know what I mean, and show a bit of character. But again, there's no been a lot in it, and yet HAWICK are 12-0 up, so fair play to them.
And now Kirk Ford with a minute left in this first half here at the final of the People's Sevens. He kicks it high and at the sky yet again, and Brown is lifted, does well to gather this time, and he's perhaps not controlled it in the best fashion from Frankie Robson, but a Kelso penalty does come. Then we have the Pointer Park men, and Patterson takes it quickly, finds Tate. Tate's got it to Tweedy. Tweedy's got Melbourne outside him, who he uses on the 22. The little quick show and go there, but eventually does use Angus Roberts. Great clear out there from Tweedy as Melbourne picks up and goes direct, straight forward, and he's been shackled by Linton. Tweedy with a great spinning pass out wide, finds Patterson. He's got some space here if he can commit Lowry, which he does. Robson now has got some space outside him. Kirkford is just trying to ghost him there. He does well to keep him in that space. Robson stays tall, and then he's got Callum Rennick and Lowry now gathering there for HAWICK to try and escort Frankie Robson off the field of play. The Kelso ball is there to play as Andy Tate gets it from a bit of pressure as Patterson distributes to Tweedy, who's got a great range of passing. He doesn't use it this time and goes straight towards Kyle Brunton. And he's been ragdolled down to ground again. Brunton goes beyond the contact zone there as it bobbles into the chest of Angus Roberts. The referee is going to give the penalty the way of Kelso, and Roberts should go quickly now. He goes quickly, looks to try and pick off the hole there of Gray. He manages to ghost through him. He goes on the inside of Brunton as well, and now Linton is left wanting in defence, but manages just to scrag onto the shirt. Melbourne has got to skedaddle over the spray of bodies on the park to act as scrum half, and the ball eventually gets to Cammy Brown, who's looking to try and make amends for that missed challenge, which allowed Andrew Mitchell in for the opening score. Does well. He manages to make a few hard-earned metres there and goes over Owen Gray again. Patterson dummies, offloads out of contact. There's a bit of pressure coming on here from Linton, and manages just to get his hand to that ball. Kirkford then is just kicked it onto his own hands forward on the 22-metre line, and now he's over the 10. Hamish Tweedy is chasing back, but Kirkford is going to go in for another try and extend the HAWICK's lead here in the same corner where they've got all three tries here. And it looked assured there from Kelso. They looked like they were making some good inroads, putting HAWICK under a bit of pressure. And then all of a sudden, HAWICK go up the other end and score. But the second half now underway. Dwayne Patterson has got the second half going. It's now HAWICK 17 points to 0 up. And Callum Rennick is just powering his way forward and just barges his way through Hamish Tweedy up towards the halfway line, and Jay Linton now is hearing it forward. Dwayne Patterson almost read that and intercepted it, but it's just not been able to be executed well enough there. All the players just gathering in the same area, and eventually the ball is knocked forward. So it's a let-off there for Kelso, because you would have felt there, Neil, that another try might have been everything. That might have been the game gone.
It's a long way back, but that was good cover defence there. Andy Tate just tracked inside runner where Jay Linton was running and managed to force the knock on. But HAWICK have been, again, they're in attack. They look very assured, you know. That's not even like them. That's one of the first mistakes they've made in possession, really.
Dwayne Patterson feeds a scrum, then it's into the hands of Tweedy. Tweedy fires the ball to Robson. Robson's got Roberts, who's looking for his first foray in towards the HAWICK half, but he's been again well marshalled on the far side by Ronan McKean, it looks like. But well, it just challenge his opposite man. A couple of changes as well for HAWICK, you can see, because Ronan McKean is now on the field of play. It's certainly showing a lot of depth in the squad, as HAWICK will get a throw in to the line out. Kyle Brunton going to throw in just inside the Kelso half, in between the 10 metre line and the 22. He throws it in, pretty squint as well, but Cammy Brown does benefit from that. He's able to offload, and it is I think it was Brunton there who managed to get back and intercept from his throw into the line out. The referee is just signalling that there's going to be a penalty there as well to HAWICK. So HAWICK again just able to just force that ill-discipline from Kelso. And they'll take all the time in the world to take this ball towards the spot for the penalty. Kyle Brunton just waiting for his charges to get in the position, and gives the ball to Linton. Linton gives it to Rennick. Oh, this is pedestrian rugby, and it's a little bit too pedestrian because that ball has just went to ground. Andrew Mitchell having to do well to gather it. Bounced off the challenge of Tweedy again, then Andy Tate has to wrap round. Does well, the experienced scrum half from Kelso. Offload there into the hands of Ronan McKean, and now he wants to try and stretch his legs, but Dwayne Patterson, he just managed to just get in the road enough to slow down the momentum. The ball is now out from that breakdown, and Kelso not snaffling on that. Kirkford now just side skipping across the field here at the gates, and at the hands of Rennick. And now David Cheng Ling signalling that there's going to be a penalty to Kelso this time, and Kelso going to have to try and score pretty quickly, because we've got about 3 minutes gone in the final here in the PEEBLES Sevens. It's a 2-on-1. And Dwayne Patterson was absolutely clattered, but he's been able to manipulate the 2-on-1 situation, and Angus Roberts is going to go in. He's just fallen short of the line, would you believe it? He's lost his footing, and he's coughed up what would have been a certain score, and it's a knock-on from Angus Roberts. He looked to try and slide in and get the try, but what happened was he just dived a little bit too early.
I missed that, turned away, I just thought he'd scored.
I'll tell you what, Neil, you're lucky you turned away, because I think you would have turned the airwaves blue, because he's just a couple of metres shy of the line. He's looked to dive early and just got completely stuck in the quagmire just before the whitewash, and then just not being able to get up enough. A little bit of white line fever, if ever you've seen it. 4.5 minutes gone in the final. Patterson feeding into the scrum. He offloads to Tweedy. Tweedy just stops and then goes one way, checks his run, looking for an offload, and Melbourne is there. And Melbourne, if you want to give it to anybody 5 metres out, it's the big towering Irish second row, and he's over the line. So it's a reply score here from Kelso, and they're quickly retreating back into their own half. Patterson's going to have to try and take this conversion attempt quickly, as Fairbairn comes off the bench for Hawick, and Patterson, right-footed kick. It's accurate. It's successful as well. The flag goes up 7 points to 17 now, and you'd imagine if Kelso can get themselves back into the Hawick half and get another score, we're in for a grandstand finish, and it's exactly what's happened. Dwayne Patterson's taking the restart quickly. He's just caught Hawick very cold there, and now there's a chance. Gary Lowry's got to defend well there, and he's managed just to wrap up Cammy Thompson. Andy Tate gets the ball away quickly, then through Patterson, then into the hands of James Thompson. Is eventually released to Robbie Tweedy on that far side. He checks his run, comes back in field. He's been wrapped up there by the Hawick defenders. The players retreat. It's been hacked downfield by Ronan McKean, but it's just bounced into the hands of Andy Tate. Now Patterson distributes it to Cammy Thompson in between the 10 and the 22 metre line. He's going to have to go it alone. He bounces off Jay Linton, then offloads to Big Keith Melbourne. He's powering forward. It takes 3 Hawick men to bring the Irish second row down. Patterson's having to dig about. That's astute play there from Patterson, because he just hooked it through the legs, and then it's then distributed well. 2-on-1 situation. It's stuck there for Kelso, and they score in the corner. And the referee has signalled there's a forward pass, and when your luck's not in, it's not in, but it's an offside there.
Yeah, they have to be finished. From a Kelso point of view, you've got to take. That was an open goal. That the last pass, I presume it was forward.
Patterson now, he takes the penalty quickly. They're going forward. He's up towards that 5 metre line. Cammy Thompson having to duck underneath the challenges. Now Tweedy distributing with his accurate pass to Tate. Tate has then found Robbie Tweedy on that far side, and then anchoring back in field. Great defensive work yet again, but Andy Tate, it's opened up for him, and it's time for a score. We've got 20 seconds or so left on this clock. Looking to try and go quickly, and I did say it was going to be a grandstand finish. And now Patterson's going to have to take this quickly. If this conversion attempt is successful, a try will win it for Kelso, and if it's not, it means they need a converted try to win. It's gone over the crossbar in between the uprights. It is now Kelso 14, Hawick 17. And it's a chance here. I don't think Hawick will be getting caught shy a second time from that line. Patterson just telling his teammates just to calm down. Time is on their side if they can get the ball back. It's been towering restarts from Dwayne Patterson all afternoon here at the Gates, and it's the time now to bring that out the repertoire one more time. It's high, it's hoisted, it's inviting for Melbourne. It's been flat back into the hands of Tweedy, and Kelso now on the attack, charging forward towards the Hawick 22. James Thompson going forward. Kelso now just need to retain the ball. Melbourne all over that. Gary Lowry off his feet. The advantage is coming for Kelso. They've got a free ball to play with, and it's a penalty inside the Hawick 22. Patterson now going quickly. He's got some support on the left hand side, but checks his running, goes right. He then offloads back into the hands of Tweedy. He smartly distributes there to Cammy Thompson. Cammy Thompson's been wrapped up by Jay Linton, who does well to release the player and then get on the ball. The advantage is coming for not releasing from David Chang Ling. I would tend to disagree with him on this occasion, but the advantage is going to go the way of Kelso. Andy Tate having to dig about in there. Very attritional at that breakdown. The penalty's going quickly. The referee just slowing things down. Penalty going the way of Kelso inside the 22. A reminder that time is up here. Kelso 14, Hawick 17. Patterson distributing wide now into the hands of James Thompson. He checks his run again. Andy Tate having to do that's brilliant play from Andy Tate. It's a 3-on-1 here for Kelso. Win the PEEBLES Sevens through the hands of Cammy Thompson, and it's a grandstand finish here for Kelso. And what a score at the death for Kelso. Brilliant play, and it all comes back to Andy Tate, I believe. When the ball was loose, he manages just to pirouette and get the ball into an attractive position to keep it alive. Gary Lowry breathing down his neck, and he was able just to offload and into the hands of the match winner there, Cammy Thompson, and Kelso are Peebles Sevens winners.
To see a team come back from 17-0 down, and I'm going to be honest, I thought HAWICK were the best Sevens team on show today, and I still think they were, but fair credit to Kelso, what a final.
No, the boys really dug in and showed some heart there to come back from 3 scores down at half time, and well, with 2 minutes to go in fact, and claw 3 tries back at the end. But no, all credit to the boys, it was outstanding today.
What did the coaching staff say to the boys at half time?
We weren't panicked too much at half time, I wouldn't say, because there was still 7 minutes to play. They'd scored 3 tries, we knew we could as well. But it got to about 3 minutes, and Captain Frankie was saying, lads, we're not coming up here to get embarrassed, and I think that really kicked us all into gear, and it showed just, the boys showed the heart and really great determination to claw that back against a really good HAWICK side. All credit to HAWICK, they played some really good rugby.
It's the first of the Kings in the Sevens tournaments. Netherdale in 2 weeks for the Gala Sevens. How are you feeling about that?
No, I think it really boosts us on, and it's a big season for us. Obviously, being in the Premiership for the first time this century, so it's a really good platform to start off on. And now we'll look ahead. We've got a pre-season friendly down at Percy Park next weekend, and then it'll be turned back to Sevens for Gala in a couple of weeks' time. So looking forward to it.